What's good, everybody? It's your boy Server Error 405. Look, it's a podcast. I'm here with another episode, and this one actually is like real personal for me because I've been wanting to talk to this man for a long time. Highly respected NGT Hall of Famer, content creator, and there's so many other things that he does that we're going to talk about this here in a minute. But I will tell you one thing: if you're one of those fickle wrestling fans, you're not going to like this podcast today. But ladies and gentlemen, Lou Nonsense, what's good, homie?
What's cracking, bro?
We're good, bro. We're good. The one thing I will say right off the bat, I am very nervous on your clapback from my birthday roast for you. My my birthday is August 22nd, and I'm gonna do.
Pray I forget,
Bro.
pray I forget.
It's I'm gonna do it live, so it's either gonna be on YouTube live or I'm gonna Twitch it. So I'm expecting just to get fucking body bagged. It's gonna be the worst birthday I've ever had. So, I'm a little scary. But what's been going on with you, man? What's new?
Pretty much with me is like I've pretty much been debating like joining like really going full in on other platforms because I know I do a lot in TikTok and everything. This has been like my main platform since like I blew up a little bit. I started on Instagram. But I started to find like my niche in TikTok. Well, how things been going on with TikTok and stuff, especially how I feel as a creator. I kind of feel, obviously you gotta broaden your horizon. You gotta, can't just be in one spot and the other, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also thinking about like switching up things as well as far as like the content. Because people know me for wrestling stuff, but I feel like I'm more talented than just that, you know what I mean? So thinking about, different type of content to put out, going either to YouTube or starting to Twitch. I've been talking about starting to Twitch like forever, but I've just been trying to get, the funds up to like buy the equipment I need. Because for those who don't know, everything I do is off my phone. I don't have a computer or nothing. It's just all phone.
Oh shit. Okay. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. It's just all the phone, you know what I mean? So yeah, just been like getting the funds up to try to get the stuff that I need,
Now, you recently just hosted a dance battle. And when I was reading the Instagram, you've been a krumper for 12 years. Now, I knew you danced, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could see that when I was looking through your Facebook photos for the roast. So I knew you did some dancing. I knew you were dancing a little bit. So what got you started in that? Like, that's something that most people don't really know, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I don't really talk about it as much on TikTok. Because, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to, like, this is a little quick thing about me. I hate dancing on camera. Like if I'm in the room recording myself dancing, unless I'm doing like silly shit, that's different. But like me, like actually going all out, it's hard. It's hard for me because I don't feel it. But anyways, going back to the question, what really got me into dance. I've been like a fan of dancing for like a long time, like just watching it because like I like especially the hip hop stuff. You watch hip hop videos and stuff like that. You see people dancing, but like the main thing that make me like really go in and let me try this. I bet you a lot of dancers probably have similar stories. Probably watching you got served for the first time. That opening battle that got me, but like that's what mainly got me interested into like really getting into the dancing. But really like got me into like I'm gonna do this shit is Stomp the Yard. That's what really got me into like. That's what really got me into like let me explore what this krump and stuff is. You know what I mean? So I did. And because like I tried to do other styles before, but like krump is the one style that like that fit with me, that stuck with me. So that's why I kept going. And turned out I was pretty good at it compared to all the other stuff. So I was like, oh damn, I'm pretty good at this shit. So let me keep it going. Met a lot of my best friends who were like family to me through that dance, and it's a good way for me to channel a lot of the stuff that I'm feeling. I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling, happy, or we're just like gonna get like that emotional release out. I use that, you know what I mean? So
that's what's up.
Yeah, I've been dancing for like 12 years.
No, I used to run a battle rap league back when I lived in Alabama. I'm from Los Angeles, but I lived in Mobile, Alabama for about 5 years. So being a part of battle rap, and I'm a huge fan of battle rap anyways. I've watched battle rap and I've watched dance battles, and they both have equal intensity. In some of the dance battles that I've seen, what's the most intense like battle that you've either hosted or been a part of that you've seen that you could talk about?
Oh man, there's so many, but mostly when it comes to like krump stuff, because I've seen some beef battles. They're mainly in the streets. These are like street sessions because the vibe is completely different when you have an outdoor street session and have like a whole event. You know what I mean?
Right.
Any event that I've hosted, things haven't really gotten like heated, like, oh, people are going to blows. Nah, it's just some people get emotional. Like let's say there's a battle going on, and let's say that they don't like how the judge went through it. And afterwards you have a little intermission, which is like this. Everybody will, like, the DJ will just play music, and all the dancers will decipher, and we'll get some call outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the guy that battled one person, or sometimes we'll call out a judge or call out somebody's like, I don't like how you judged it. I have a problem. But they settle it there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the most intense, I'm see if I can remember, because there's been so many. But the most intense ones has been like a Krump Street battle. I'm trying to remember. There's so many. Golly.
Do they get like?
It happened in Richmond. It happened in Richmond. It was like two crews against each other. It was just like street battle. It just kept going for hours.
Is there any particular like a dance move that means like go fuck yourself type shit? Like, is there anything that you could do as a dancer besides outside, like getting in their face, that intimidation part of it? Like, is there any particular move? Like, if you do it, they're like, oh, we hit him with the fucking Playboy. Like, oh shit. Like, is there anything?
I don't think it's like a particular move per se. You know what I mean? For at least
Right.
Krump, at least. I mean, you can tell because Krump is like language, so you can like tell someone's dissing you based on their body language or what they say, or they just flat out just say it. Be like, suck. Say it, suck. Sometimes get physical and be like, yo, you suck.
It's so that's just fucking dope, bro. Like, I just seeing that you were hosting one, because I knew you were part of it, and for you to host, like, you're really good. Like, you're good enough to where like people will say, hey, you know what, come host this shit with other people who are fucking equally as good, or maybe even better. Like, are you thinking of like getting into like competitions, or just more of a hosting side of it right now?
I mean, I've done a lot of competitions and stuff. I mean, like, of course I'm gonna get that itch to go in and like battle against sometime, but like I'm dipping my toe into this being an MC for these events. Like this event that just came up was it wasn't the first event I've like hosted, but it was the first the size of it was the biggest events I've ever hosted. And yeah, I believe I knocked it out of the park. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, and it was just like everybody was coming up to me and was just like, yo, you did your thing out there. You was one of the most entertaining things out there besides the dancing. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, because like I'm there, me being a Krumper, hyping, crowd participation is a must for me. So you know what I mean? You got to show that charisma a little bit. You know what I mean? I came in that bitch dressed as Shawn Michaels. I still had my Halloween costume. Friday, I was in. It was perfect. It was perfect for it. It was called the Heartbreak Battle. Heartbreak Kid. I had to go out there and do my thing. But like, big thing is just keeping the crowd engaged as best as you can. And yeah, just got to get that crowd participation in. Like, I'll just go in. I'm just like, yo, the dancers need you. I'll be like, the dancers need that support, yo. So one of the greatest things that was taught to me by one of my best friends, when you're hyping and Krump, there's one thing you should do. Like, if you've never seen that dancer do that specific move before, or I myself can't do what they're doing, you better hype it.
Right.
Yeah, you better hype it. You can't do that. You better hype it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a way to show love to everybody. So yeah,
absolutely. So speaking of Shawn Michaels and wrestling, how's the wrestling career going for you? Because I know that you were doing it for a minute. So how are you still doing the wrestling, or are you kind of doing it part-time, or?
It's more like part-time stuff. It's not like, oh, I've been doing it for like a minute. It was just like, I'm still a rookie. I'm still green as goose shit. Like, main thing I've been doing, been working with TCW, KG Red, and good friend of mine on TikTok. I've been working with them, but mainly as the on-screen heel authority figure right now is Lucius Suede. Y'all remember Lucius, if y'all in the NGT days, Lucius Suede, the manager of myself.
We do remember Lucius. We definitely remember Lucius. We're gonna talk about NGT here, but we're gonna kind of tie in TikTok, because you're the main reason that I even give a fuck about TikTok, to be honest, because I was always a Vine person back in the day. I'm an old head. I'm 47, so I've been around a minute. I've seen different trends, but TikTok kind of brought that Vine vibe, but it was just longer form. But I wasn't really feeling it. It seemed like younger kids were kind of into it. I told my girl about it, Now she loves TikTok. Like that's her fucking shit. She's over 1,000 followers and she's super happy. But you cutting promos, I never knew about promo leagues. But watching you with the TikTok championship and saying that you could beat anybody, I'm like, I'm a wrestling fan. Who the fuck's this guy? This guy over here talking shit. So it made me interested. And then, you know, by proxy, got the NGT information, everything else. What made you decide to do that? Because obviously the pandemic put a lot of that, you know, emphasis on finding things to do at home. But what was the one inspiration for you to even get there, to even be like the godfather of like the promo league?
Oh man, like bro, it's as simple as hell. It's just like, you know, pandemic, we trapped in the house. All this stuff came in a shower thought. I was taking a shower one time. I'm just like, I'm bored. Let me just do a promo on TikTok and see who's going to, you know, join in. You know, I tell this story all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like, so I came in. I didn't even have the belt yet. This was before I had the belt and everything. I was like, yo, I came in. I had the cut off vest, you know, the shirt out, the glass. I'm just like, this is a promo bet. Who could beat me? And you know what I mean? And I was I was just claiming TikTok championship. You know, it was all like fun and games and stuff. And as a surprise, more people than I ever anticipated responded to me. And I was just going through like hours of responses. I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. I had to keep looking and studying and figuring out who was like my top 5 in them. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, I still remember that scathing promo Smith Sessions gave me.
Oh shit.
He could have won it. This is the thing. I like Smith's disses. It's just like, if he would have slowed down a bit, he would have won it. That's the thing. But yeah, it was like, you know, this one guy, he's not even on TikTok anymore. It was this one dude that he had the skull mask, he had the theatrics and all that stuff, and the stuff he was saying was just like, whoo, feel it in my chest. So I was like, okay. Shit. He's like, you know what I mean? I've like cut promos on my friends just like jokes because they know I'm a wrestling fan. They're not really as big of wrestling fans or at all than I am. So, you know, I was like, all right, I cut these promos on my friends sometimes. Let me try it on TikTok and see where it goes. And it turned into like this huge league. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. and met a lot of great people from it. You know what I mean?
Dude, and it's huge now. And the thing is, for people who are just listening and not familiar, you know, NGT is a promo league. You know, it was NGTTWF. It's a promo league. If you're a wrestling fan, it's just the in-ring promos. It's basically their judge battles, you know, doing that on TikTok. There's Facebook leagues and different things too, but it made me just like it made me love wrestling more. And my dream match was to go against you. And once I started like being a part of the league, you end up retiring. And the part for me, and I made a stitch of it, is when you mentioned Mr. Him, which was like, I didn't even know you even knew who the fuck I was at the time. You know what I mean? Like, just I was just building up and trying to get there. And in your retirement speech, put Mr. Him in there, and I was like, dude, that's a big deal coming from Lou. Like, holy shit, this is the first time we've ever spoke to each other, really.
Yeah. Like, I've seen like I've seen your promos before, and I was like, oh, this is dope. I love like the creativity you're doing with, you know, the split personality shit. I'm like, oh, this is I know this split personality stuff before, but I was like, it was just maybe it was like really entertaining, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, hey, and plus like a lot of people don't know this, like I get tagged in like almost everybody's promo. Like I try to watch all of them, but yeah, people don't know. I see people, you know what I mean? I see them. I may not comment or like all the time, but it's just like I see people, you know what I mean? So it's just like I don't want people to think like, oh shit, I don't know who knew who I was, or I'm just like this big dude. I'm just like, nah, I see y'all, bro.
That's the one thing that's cool, because I had Professor on, I've had Nick on last season, and pretty much said the same thing. Like, and I'm one of the people that would think that you guys, you know, move on, do other things, you guys still fuck with us, but like never see what we're actually putting out there. So just knowing that you guys still watch, whether it's watching me or whoever, just knowing that you guys watch the product still and support it so much, that means like a whole lot to, especially a lot of the newer guys that are coming up too. And they just see you, and they see you on TikTok for your wrestling stuff. And then they find, oh, he used a promo here. Like, it's like that newer generation, you know what I mean? So it's pretty dope to see, you know. But the one thing I want to ask, because I have a few little questions here. Some from NGT. A few questions from them, but I'm going to ask one of mine here. Let's see, which ones did I ask? If you were to come back for a match, who would it be against?
Man, if I'm gonna come back, it's gonna be for several matches because I know there's like a lot of unfinished things I need to go and do. Number one, me and Mr. Professor, me and Nick Harrison, we are 1-1. That's one
Yeah.
jump. We were 1-1 the first time we did. First time we battled, we did 3 rounds. 3 rounds. I felt that I felt like I got it, but the judges felt other ways. I don't shit. It's all shit. It was fun.
Yeah.
He got that. And then the second round, when I returned as myself, because I was Lucius Sway that whole period when myself was like disappeared,
Right.
after losing. So I was like, I came back as myself, and yeah, I was like, damn. I was nervous, but yeah, ended up winning that one. But I was like, yeah, we have a tiebreaker. A1 Nero's another one. He was upset when I retired. He was so upset when I retired. It was so bad. But yeah, I love that man to death. But yeah, if I come back, I'll 0-1. Another one. Definitely gotta get you one time. I gotta get you one time. Out of respect, brother. Gotta get you one time, and definitely heel hugs because he's been wanting that for such a long time. I never got a chance to get to it, bro.
Yeah.
Because yeah. But those are like the 4 that come to mind. Those are 4 that come to mind.
And I always love the OGs when they come back. So that's always a good thing. Now, when you initially retired, what was the main reason that you just said, you know what, I'm good? Like, did you like what was the thing that stood out?
It was just I was like it kind of like because like the scheduling and everything and like how much often like we battled and stuff. It's like I didn't want to do it every week, and also like it kind of was taking over my creative process because like me, I mainly want to make stuff that's funny, like just make funny in the videos and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And also I was trying to do other things, but literally while I was doing it, like all the time, it's just like I'm at work trying to think of content, but at the same time, I have to cut promos in my head all day, every day, because I'm preparing to battle this person that I don't want to lose to because I'm really competitive. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, I'm having trouble focusing. And then also like, I was doing it so much that I kind of was losing the passion to it. I kind of got a little bored. I was like, because I kind of felt like I was doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm just like, you know what? I think I've done enough. Let the other guy shine. You know what I mean? I'm good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll take an L some days. Sometimes I feel like I won battles that I lost. It's all good. Just like it was just mainly focus. I couldn't focus on one thing and then do that. It's like I was like every day I'm thinking of like every waking moment I'm thinking of a promo. I don't want to do that all day.
What would it take for you to come back for either just like a one-off or maybe like a little like have a program for like a month or 2? You ever see anything like that in the future?
Not right now, my dude.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly just focusing on just getting my life up, bro.
Okay, I feel that. So let me go to some of the questions from the NGT community here. Let's see here. So Heel Hugs, thank you, Hugs, for the question. He said he has questions about his return, and do you think you could cut it with the new people if you were to come back?
The new people, I got to catch up with some of the new ones. I see people, but I haven't seen all of the people. You know what I mean? Like I see some people, but I haven't seen all of them. But I gotta catch up, man. I gotta catch up. So yeah, I gotta. If I'm gonna come back, yeah, I gotta study up. Real talk.
Okay, that's what's up. We have one from Rogue. Paul Atlas. This is a good one from him.
Bro.
You're gonna solve some issues here for him because he says he's been arguing with his friends on this, and I think Lou would be the person to answer this question. So if you were rebuilding, it's a couple questions. First one is if you were rebuilding Ring of Honor, and you could pick any 4 wrestlers currently wrestling today from any company to be the foundation of the company, who would it be?
Shit. Whoo-wee. That's a loaded ass question. Damn.
He gave you a paragraph question.
Damn. All right. Shit. I have to think about this real quick. If I was gonna rebuild Ring of Honor, first person that comes to mind is definitely Danielson. I'll put Brian Danielson in there, kind of as like that OG, you know what I mean, to like be there. But and then also like who else will be a good? a good fit for it. Danielson is at OG, another good fit for it for like the young heads. I would put. Yeah, bear with me. This is a lot of.
Oh man, take your time. Take your time. I mean, it's a heavy question. It took me a minute to read it, so I know it's going to take a minute to come up with answers for it.
Who would I take? I'm gonna go ahead and say fuck it. I'll put Ricochet in there.
Okay.
Get him out of there. Another person I'm thinking of when it comes to like in-ring work rate. Matter of fact, now I'd keep Jonathan Gresham in that job. I'd keep Jonathan Gresham in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Golly, that boy can wrestle.
Yeah.
And I know he's not. I heard he's starting his own promotion, but I put him back in there. Put EC3 back in there.
Okay. All right. So hopefully that solves Paul's issue. So the other question, I don't know if it's related to his friend's circle, if this was another problem that he has, but let's see. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? And he said, I hate to have to unfriend him. So he said, I also need to know pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I'd hate to have to unfriend him.
Hell no, pineapple is not on pizza, and don't unfriend me if you agree it belongs on there. But hell no.
Yeah,
I think not.
I think he was. I don't think he likes pineapple on the pizza. I'm assuming, but we'll get cooked. I think it's gross.
He's probably gonna mess. He's gotta go message me when he sees this. Be like, what the fuck?
You're gonna get blocked on all social media now.
Oh no.
So okay, so I'm going to mention Sean Pittman, even though you just answered the question. His question was what we already asked. If you come back to NGT for another match, who would you like to face? You just mentioned 4 people. So fuck off, Sean Pittman. I already asked your question. Sorry. All right. Here's one from that. Here's one from that KG. Good old KG. It's another long question. Well, it's actually 3 questions. What is the one thing you could take away from your time spent in the promo league? What would you do differently? And what advice would you give to your younger self?
What would I be doing differently? This is what I'd probably have done differently. I'd probably do the whole disappearing Lou thing a lot different. Yeah, because that I will admit, like as much as I had a lot of people involved. I had people involved with me hugs, and I was thinking of Sandy Ravage in it. But I was like, but yeah, it's just like it kind of took too long to get to the payoff. So I would have been like, I probably would have not done the whole disappearing Lou thing, even though it didn't have it did end up with me being champion again after beating Nick. But It was just like the in between took a little too long to get things done. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I would have went through that whole story a lot differently. I probably would have just went through like a whole character change. I mean, I did go through a character change, but like I would have shown it more than just I'm gone and I come back, I'm a different person. I would have just shown it either through vignettes, probably through like the way I battle, or probably, probably through the eyes of Lucius Suede. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Lucius Suede trying to talk to me, I'm still like in like a dormant state type of stuff. I was thinking about that. Like a while ago, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I should have probably did that. I knew I should have probably did that story a little better.
Yeah.
But also like another thing I tell myself is like add more layers to the more complexity to the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I felt that it was coming out a little later. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people wanted me to join different factions, and what I loved the most about it is that I stayed to myself. You know what I mean? I was just like I was the one rogue, the anomaly of everybody. Everybody wanted me to use Heel Club. It was Heel Club against one guy. You know what I mean? Face Club. I wasn't either Face Club either. You know what I mean? I wasn't, the future, all that stuff. I was like, no, I'm just me.
Absolutely. Now, did you ever run into any issues on TikTok when you were promoting? Because now TikTok, they changed a lot of their, guidelines and stuff, and they're assholes. I mean, you've already had your complaints. They'll just take your shit down when you're not even doing anything at all remotely close to what they're talking about. So did you ever have any of those issues when you were promoting, or is it just worse now?
No, actually, like when I though my biggest, I only got my like I think 2 videos taken down, but it got put right back up. It was one was a response to Captain Law, I think as Lucius Suede. I can't remember. I don't know if it was Captain Law or somebody, but that was like early, It was before NGT was even like started. You know what I mean? Because like even as I did that initial like promo battle before the league was even created, more people came out of nowhere because they saw my original call out video from months earlier, and then they came back months later, just like, you know what I mean, like Hill Panda guy came over like afterwards. And I was like, oh shit, this shit's over, and they still coming after me. Holy crap! But that's my man, 50 grand. That's my brother. But yeah, a lot of problems happened earlier. You know. Now, I mean, I don't cut promos anymore, but now when it comes to like certain content, you know, my only issue is just like people can just spam report shit without things being right and your videos getting taken down. Because I remember I made that I made a video like I think last month. I made a video last month about the Jeff Hardy situation.
Yeah,
how he's clean and everything. And yeah, I was going in, but I did mention Voldemort. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And like I guess like weeks later, like no, earlier this month, that video got taken down. And I tried to appeal it, and then it says I violated community guidelines. I'm just like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah. But when it comes regarding promos, I didn't really have any issues. It's like besides that stuff in the beginning.
Yeah, it seems like it's happening more because they keep changing shit, whatever. So now some people will cut promos where it'll say in character acting or whatever while they're cutting it. You know,
but I think that had mainly to do with how fans were to perceive these promos, because I remember a time where me and Skylar Mars, that's my other bro, another homie, me and Skylar Mars, we had a battle that looked that seemed people did not know us. They look at that jump, it looked personal. Yeah. So people did not know. And it kind of like worked everybody. I think it worked even Sandy Rack. Even worked Ryan. I'm like, oh shit. He's like, I hope you guys are still friends. I'm like, yeah, we're good.
See, I love doing that shit. I love when people don't really know the difference, because it's like, man, that's when you know you're really acting or when you're really doing your job. You know what I mean? But like the one thing, like when you have like so many people that are saying different things, some are nicer, and TikTok will not pay attention to that. But if there's no context to what we're doing, and you just look at your FYP and you just see somebody telling someone they're a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're okay. I'm gonna report this guy. He's then they see like, you know, somebody else. They're like, oh, well, he's totally bullying this person. You know, so you know, it is what it is.
You have to make that clear. This is like a viewer discretion is advised type shit.
Yeah,
that's like you have to put for these promos nowadays.
And
also it comes with like people watching it and not understanding it's a work. Like I've had to explain to many people it's a work. Heel Kevin, another friend. I still remember that one beef battle he had with Smith Sessions that was like I don't know. I think it was like it seemed more realer than mine. Oh man, it seemed more realer than mine. And he had to explain like, "Yo, this is a work. Chill."
Yeah, you're gonna end up in someone's inbox like, "Y'all good? Like everything all right?" So I have a few more questions from NGT. This one's just a silly one because you know Kiefer. Kiefer's he's been around a while, so this isn't really a question. I'm just going to read it out of respect for Kiefer. So fuck off, Kiefer. I'm reading it anyways. Kiefer said, I would like to know why Lou Nonsense has no ass. He is so flat.
What?
Thanks.
First
Kiefer,
of all, nope. I'm not going to get goated. I'm not going to get goated. If anybody's seen me in my Shawn Michaels costume, you know.
I don't remember watching a TikTok where you actually showed your ass, but you know, maybe I didn't do enough research. Okay, so the last one from NGT is a couple from Nabil. Nabil, first question said, who do you think can be a bright star in NGT in 2022?
2022? Ooh, man. Shoot, I gotta go back because remember a lot of the younger ones. Yeah. Like I remember I've seen the guys who came up with me, and I've seen like some of the guys who were under me that was coming up.
Yeah.
But like brand newer ones, like I haven't seen all of them yet. Yeah. And like I gotta go back and watch and remember to give y'all a clear answer on that one. Because I do remember another kid. I remember it was a tag battle I had with these two younger cats from a heel club. I just can't remember their names. It's been so long. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I really don't, no disrespect.
Yeah.
It was me and Relic against two young cats.
Was it Sid and Punjabi Warrior?
No, it wasn't Punjabi Warrior. No.
No, okay.
Well, one was, I think both of them are in the UK. The young cats. I forgot.
Nightmare.
Huh?
Nightmare.
I think Nightmare was one of them. I think it was Nightmare.
WrestlePunk. Trying to think of all UK people.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember all of them. Shit, it's been so long. I wish I had another phone. Fuck. I get on there and like really go in and look at it. But yeah, he came at me pretty. They came at me pretty damn good. I don't know if they're still promoing, but if they are, hey, bright future for them.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just to like make up for it. I'm definitely gonna like shout them out on a separate TikTok page, separate TikTok post. So they don't know who you are. I just forgot the name right there. It's just gone for me. So like I've been on there.
Whatever, two UK guys and NGT. Hey, you guys are gonna do great. You guys are gonna do great, whoever you guys are.
No disrespect, man.
No disrespect.
It's been so long. We only had one interaction. That's it.
All right. His other question is not wrestling related. He said, if you were in any movie or TV series, which ones would you be in and why?
Oh man. Movie or TV series. God, I was having a talk about this with my friend yesterday. I'll definitely be in, if I was to be or in a movie, it would definitely be comic relief in a rom-com. But
not the stereotypical black friend. Not the stereotypical black friend.
Not the stereotypical black friend. No. I'll be comic relief, but not the stereotypical.
Okay.
Shit. But if I was gonna be in any series right now, because I haven't really watched a lot of series. I just started watching Bel Air, the new modernized version of the Fresh Prince.
Yes. Is it good?
Yeah,
you like it?
So far, so good. I just finished the first episode. I was like, this was interesting. This is interesting. So
okay,
I gotta get into it. I just started watching it. What's another show? I think I'll be good on Peacemaker.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that show. Did you finish watching it?
Yeah, I saw the finale. The shit was crazy.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, what are your favorite shows so far this year that you're into?
Favorite shows this year? Because I haven't been watching a lot. My main thing has just been like TikTok, YouTube videos, and since like, and sometimes occasionally I'll watch an anime here and there. But I did recently finish this one series, this Korean zombie jump on Netflix. All of Us Are Dead.
Oh, is that any good? I've been thinking
that is really good. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
There was there's some tropes that annoy me, but that's just me when I watch anything that has to do with the zombie apocalypse. Is like, yeah, some of it happens here or there, but overall, I thought the story was good, and it was like a unique spin on a zombie virus. I'm like, oh, this is tight. This is dope.
I might check it out. I've been digging like a lot of the Netflix shows that they've been pumping out, so I'm kind of interested in that one. What would you, just kind of going back to the promo stuff, for all the new people that are coming up, what advice would you give them?
Well, one thing is definitely try to be unique in the best way possible. Try to be unique. Try to stand out. And I'm not trying to say do the most outrageous thing for clout, but definitely like try to be more of yourselves and you can get inspiration from things, but don't be a carbon copy. Definitely don't. Get inspirations from things, but you also got to spin it and make it your own. Definitely, but most importantly, have fun doing this shit. Like, don't take it too damn seriously. Because, like, I go lie, I did a little bit, and I kind of like stopped enjoying it for a little bit because that's just me because I was competitive. I don't like to lose. You know what I mean? If I don't feel like I did the best I did, whether I won or lost, like I feel it a little bit. So
yeah. But
I started forgetting like having fun. I got that back with my battle against Heel Panda, my last one. I got that back. Oh, and also battles were like when I was Lucius Suede. I had more fun battling as Lucius Suede than I did as Lou Nonsense. But yeah. You just gotta remember just to have fun with it. Find something that works, and if it works, stick with it. And if it's time to switch it up, switch it up.
Absolutely. See, that's the one thing, like with my Mr. Him character, he was inspired by Finn Balor. Just basically, if you push me, you're going to get Mr. Him. But then I stopped. I used to use him every match promo. So it was always like server error for the week, and then you get Mr. Him on match day. And I did that every week. So then I just stopped because I didn't want the gimmick to just get old. So now every time he pops up, people pop for it. So I'm like, okay, we got something here. So I'm just going to fucking take care of it, but you were always an inspiration to me, just watching you promo and everything. And I was like, this shit's fucking dope as fuck. And the one thing, and I never even told anybody this, when I was first like getting into NGT, when you had your belt, I thought that if you beat somebody, you would have to send that belt to the person. I thought that was, I'm getting into this shit. I'm gonna get a belt.
I had questions because like I go live. People ask me that question. I was like, no, because that would be like a whole like can of worms. The only person I know that's like actually sent out the belt because he didn't really like. I mean, because he wanted to give it out as gifts was Heel Panda God. Because when he made it, he was just like, hey, this is a gift, Here, take it. You know what I mean? I'll send it out to you. Me, I'm just like, this is more than just like. This wasn't just like a prop I had for promo battles. When I had this shit, I was more like, oh, it was actually no. I made this out of reaction because when I was doing the first promo battle, some little kid got me so butthurt a little bit. I was like, fuck it. He's just like, you call yourself a champ, Lou. Where's your belt? I'm like, fuck. Damn, this kid got me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get myself a belt because I used to have a replica WWE Championship belt, but I lost it when I was in college. I was like, oh damn, somebody stole that shit and I couldn't find it. But yeah,
that's funny. So that's the hidden story. The 8-year-old got depressed, and you got the belt. And
I was gonna do it regardless, but at the same time, I was like, yeah. No, him making me get myself a custom one, that was different. But him saying I don't have a belt, I was like, damn, that fucking stinks.
you couldn't show one of those Target belts because he's got 7 of those on his wall. So
you got to come correct. I ain't buying them Jones. Nah, if I was gonna have it come out with my own belt, or probably look like this one because it's the best. I mean, I'm keeping this one for like sentimental reasons because what I mean. On top of that, these damn replicas are expensive shit.
Yeah, shit, dude. I price some belts because I kind of want like a legit belt. And one of my favorite belts is the old NWA TV title. Like I just love that belt, and like with the red and the silver, and $300. I'm like, that's a lot of money for a fucking belt that I'm just gonna maybe wear.
As hard as it is to get PS5s nowadays, I'll choose a PS5.
You know what I mean?
I have that money ready.
A few hundred more, you get a PS5 and be fine. Like, here's my $300 belt. They're just gonna sit on my wall, or I'll use for a 60-second TikTok promo. It's just hard. I have to be balling out of control to ever want to buy a belt like that.
Or you can make them like Kevin.
Yeah, just make them. If I can do that. So right now, what's your main focus? Is just TikTok stuff? Are you doing all the content for TikTok?
Well, I got to get back into like making like content like on a weekly basis, because sometimes I'll take too much time off. Yeah, and it kind of like affects the flow of my channel. Sometimes I kind of see it because the views are low. I'm not gonna lie. But also because like working a day job and then working a day job that's physically exhausted, and then coming back and then trying to like work on the stuff that you're really passionate about. It sucks. It sucks, but you gotta push through it. I'm just trying to find that balance now. But once I get back into that mode where I'm like my creative juices is going, I can consistently keep doing this for like months on months and months, and then going out and main focus also is trying to like transition to other social media posts, like other social media areas, like Twitch. I've been talking about Twitch a long time. People talking about, hey Lou, just start a podcast, and it's like, that'll be tight. Yeah, that would be tight. That'd be tight to do someday. You know what I mean? Because as much as I like being a guest, sometimes when I'm on live on TikTok, I like to talk. So
absolutely.
Try some shit like that, or I also was thinking about bringing the Lou reviews back, but keeping that exclusive to YouTube. Okay. So I have more time. So I have
Yeah.
more time to push that. I know we can do 3-minute videos on TikTok, but sometimes the 3-minute video thing doesn't do as well as far as like people's attention span. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a long time for people. That is a long
a
time.
long time for people, but yeah, long time for people. But like 60 seconds is hard to fit a 3-hour show on.
Facts. What's the with all the wrestling takes that you have, and I've watched most of them because it's kind of like with Smith too. I agree with most of the takes, majority of them. And I'm a big wrestling fan. I don't have a preference. I like AW more than WWE, whatever. I watch it all, but I watch Dynamite more on Wednesday. Like I'll make it a point, and then SmackDown. But out of all the takes, what do you think is the main reason people dislike Big E so much?
Shit. Nobody has been able to give me a straight answer about that. Because you know what I mean? If you've seen my page, man, my channel, I've been defending Big E tooth and nail. Like, golly, there'll be no Big E slander on my page. And, it's like, I'm not telling everybody to have to like Big E or something like that. Everybody's entitled to like whatever they want to like. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's just a lot of people's reasoning does not make sense because one of the main reasons people were talking about it is just like, oh, we can't take him seriously because he's still New Day, he's still kind of goofy, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? I just showed you right here, he's not.
Yeah,
because he hasn't been this whole time. Of course, you're gonna have your occasional backstage, comedy spots, but everybody does it.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people are just like lost in the sauce of like how people were like lost in the sauce of like all champions have to be serious to be taken seriously. I'm just like, no, it's like you can't. It's just like they can be serious, but at the same time they have to be fucking entertaining. You know what I mean? That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Like Drew McIntyre was serious, and then y'all booed him. There's another reason why they did, but still at the same time they booed him. But like when other things come in the way, because this is what I started to notice. When one person's a champion that they wanted, but another one's on the come up, and then they book them together, some people are looking at the other guy on the come up. It's kind of like the shiny new toy effect. You know what I mean? But the problem within that is that they make up shit that wasn't true about the one guy they were cheering for to begin with. Like, here's the thing with McIntyre. I know we're talking about Big E, but McIntyre is just like a prime example that I witnessed on TikTok, specifically on TikTok. Was like people were saying, oh, McIntyre was shoved down our throats for a year. I'm just like, he was the champion.
Yeah.
He was the champion. Of course you have to feature him on the show. He was the fucking champion on a time where we didn't have fans in attendance. It also wasn't y'all the same people complaining about Brock Lesnar being part-time and not being there all the time? And then when you have a champion that's there all the time, you're saying he's being forced down your throat. You weren't saying that before he lost the championship and Bobby Lashley was the champion. I think the main thing is that people were afraid, especially how I'm gonna go a lot. WWE didn't do a good job in booking like the build to this rematch between Bobby Lashley and McIntyre. They kind of felt that the writing on the wall was for Lashley to drop the belt at Mania. They felt that he was going to be transitional. So they started making up shit. That's basically what, like, off the posts and comments I've observed and off people's video responses to me. That was one thing. But now let's go back to Big E. I kind of saw the same thing going with Big E, especially when Rollins was going back on his come up, because Rollins is fucking good.
Yeah,
Seth Rollins is looking good, but when you go in and you say shit like Big E's too goofy, but at the same time, Rollins is twice as goofy, and y'all don't say shit. And if you want to bet the excuse of, oh, Rollins is a heel, he can get away with it. Nah, what about Riddle? Because like I remember last month, y'all wanted him to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's facts. See, people will ignore like the factual stuff because their own preference is they don't care for Big E. Like Big E used to roll down the ramp when he first started his singles run. He used to do a lot of things that was New Day related. So I think people in their mind are still like triggered over the fact that he's still a part of New Day, but he's not doing it anymore, and it bothers them. So they're still trying to bring back the goofiness that he used to have when he literally has been more serious towards the end of his WWE run. And even now, like, he's not joking around, throwing pancakes, not doing any of that shit. But
he was more he was more serious. He was serious even like when he initially left the New Day. Of course, he had his like silly points, but he would roll down the ramp sometimes he'll slide in. But when he first came out, he brought back the chalk. His feud with Sheamus was intense. His feud with Apollo Crews was intense because they weren't laughing. They was beefing.
Yeah, he had some really good promos too. Big E can cut a fucking promo, but I think, and I'm not the biggest Big E fan, but like I respect what he's done, and I don't like dislike him. The same with like Drew McIntyre. Like Drew McIntyre was mainly for me. I think he was hurt because of the pandemic, because a lot of fans wanted him to be champion, but then when they gave him the championship, there was nobody there, and it was like the very beginning of the pandemic, and finally, when there was like fans coming back into the arenas to watch him wrestle, they were just over it. They were tired of seeing this guy. So I think that's what hurt his momentum is the pandemic. I mean, what do you think with Drew?
With Drew, it was pretty much fans' fickleness, but
right.
Also it was the rise of Lashley pretty much, because Lashley and McIntyre, some people don't know this, they had similar paths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, when Lashley first, he came in, he had a rocket ship strapped to his ass, and he was being pushed, being featured heavily. You know what I mean? And then he left the company, went out to other promotions. He went to Impact for a little bit. Then he went focused on his MMA career. Then he came back to Impact, rose his stock up, and then got signed back to WWE. And, you know what I mean? And now McIntyre, pegged as the chosen one. Won the Intercontinental Championship, won the Tag Team Championship. You know what I mean? He fell off a little bit, because they put him in 3MB and all that stuff, and then he got let go from WWE. Rebuilds himself on the Indies, has a tear and Impact, comes back in WWE. You know what I mean? And they look at these guys who are, they felt like these guys are the future. Well, not with McIntyre more in the future, he's younger, but like they felt like these guys were due a title run. And we've seen the come up of both of them. But the only thing is it's like Lashley's been working longer, and this is the type of Bobby Lashley that we wanted.
Yeah.
So like his title reign coming at the time it did, it was just like, damn, he worked so hard. It's been so many years for this. You know what I mean? Because when he first started coming with MVP, how many years they said it was since he had another WWE championship opportunity? I think it was like over 10 years.
Yeah,
it was over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and McIntyre, he did, had success in NXT, came back. He had success in the tag division, came back. Success as like that like overwhelming force that's like running through everybody. You know what I mean? Except for Roman Reigns, but ran through everybody type shit. But like with Lashley, it was a roller coaster for him. You know what I mean? It was something we want to see from Lashley when he first came back to the brand. Yeah. We wanted to see him as that destroyer. We wanted to see him as that. And his rise pretty much kind of over, and people wanted him to like not just be a transitional champion, kind of overshadowed McIntyre's situation. Right. That's the way I see it. That's the way I've seen. That's the way things I've noticed, like based off comments and stuff like that. This is the conclusion I've gone with that. It's just the rise of Lashley kind of overshadowed McIntyre's rise.
See, and I'm so happy about Lashley because I was never really a big Lashley fan before, but then like just like you said, like having MVP with Lashley and just being like booked similar to how Brock was booked for a while. Like that just made me just love it. Like even through the Lana stuff, when they were doing the whole Lana storyline with Rusev and everything, that was like the horrible attempt at first, but he was still like main eventing Raw. Like the focus was on him mainly. And then they just getting rid of Lana and everything and just having him just be this monster. It's like perfect for him. And this is his ceiling. This is the best Lashley we're going to see. Is what we're seeing right now, and I'm all for it. Like him beating Brock, that was like perfect for me. Like
I was happy in that, but I wish they would have did it a little differently. But hey, it had it's the story. They had to tell it that way.
So what do you think is going to happen with all the Cody stuff? There's some people saying that it's a work, and some people are saying like it's not, and he'll be in WWE soon. Like, what do you think? What's your take on it?
Honestly, I don't think it's a work. Definitely, I don't think it's a work. And secondly, if he ends up going to WWE, I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean? Because like he's done a lot in AEW, but like people will think like, oh, if he goes to if he goes back to WWE, all the stuff he built in AEW doesn't mean shit. Nah, I don't think so. He's built a lot of people up over there, regardless of people want to admit it or not. He's done a lot.
Yeah.
But personally, if he goes to WWE, I'm kind of scared for him, but at the same time, kind of hoping for it because I think that roster needs a kick in the ass as far as like star power. They need something because they don't got rid of everybody that was potential star power. You know what I mean? They have somebody, regardless of anybody how they feel about him. Cody Rhodes is a star in his own right. He comes in, that roster is shaken up. Yeah. Where my concern lies is the booking. Just because you bring a new person in doesn't mean things are going to automatically change overnight. No, you bring a new guy in, but the guy's still booking people the same, then it's not going to, nothing's going to pan out. Like, if he comes in, if Cody Rhodes comes in as much as the stock is now, and they book him exactly the way he was when he left, not saying necessarily Stardust, but when he was that mid-card, solid mid-card Cody, then I'm just like, what was the point?
Yeah.
No? So, but wherever he goes, I just hope they do it right, and it's entertaining, regardless. That's the main thing I'm worried about. Just being a good story, it being entertaining, him working with new people, to just be dope.
See, my thing is people saying that it's a work. They just, to me, those people sound like if you just break up with your girl. And like, you don't mean it. You're gonna text me later. You don't mean it. Like, what release have you ever heard where someone's like, it's a work? This is the only time I've ever heard someone like legit say that.
You don't remember Moxley's?
Who?
You remember Moxley's?
Oh,
you were saying Moxley leaving was a work.
Yeah, I remember that one, but people weren't as like heavy. I think the Cody is a little bit more, but like the Moxley, it was kind of clear, like he was going. Like there's no doubt.
It's crazy. No, he made it clear he was gone.
Yeah.
And and people thought it was a straight up work. People still thought it was a work. That was the one, at least that's the one recently that I remember, besides Cody, that people thought was a work.
Yeah.
Other ones after that, I don't know.
Like, what's even if it's a work, what's the payoff? Like, it would hurt AEW. Like, there's no like payoff for that. Like, Tony Khan put out a statement, Cody put out a statement, Brandy put out a statement. So what would the payoff be for a work? Like, we got you. We fooled you. We fucking don't like WWE. They're fucking stupid. We're not going back there. Screw them. Like, what would be the possible payoff if it was a work?
A possible payoff could be like he comes back. Let's say he takes times off and then he comes back completely new man. If he comes back as a heel, then that's like the heel everybody wants. He comes back as a heel. It has this incredible storyline with something, and then just goes back on everything. And he said, like, I'm never going to challenge for the title. So if he just comes back,
removes his tattoo,
that'll be one. I guess it's one payoff I'm thinking that could possibly happen. Do one last final fuck you to WWE, I guess. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's the only payoff I could think of.
That would be it to me. The reason I don't think it's a work because Tony Khan isn't an on camera character.
He's not.
So for him to put out a statement, that would mean, and if it's a work, that would mean he's basically a character on camera now. And he's already said that he would never do that, even though he still gets shown on camera, but he's never like been in the ring, cutting a promo. Yeah. So to me, that's the one that like stands out. And it would make AEW look bad. But there's a lot of people on TikTok posting their takes on why it's a work. And I'm like, stop it. Just turn the camera
shows
up
at WrestleMania. I think looking stupid like that one dude from What Culture.
I think
he thought Moxley's show was a work while he's in AEW.
Like, what a surprise! What a surprise, man! You thought you had a scoop. What match do you think would be good for Cody? The one I was saying on Twitter was Cody and Brandy against Miz and Maurice for WrestleMania.
I don't want to
because that's a Vince booking move.
That's a Vince booking move.
But
definitely.
How would you book it? How would Lou book it?
Book as in like Cody Rhodes going up against the Miz, or just
Cody, anybody like Cody, and you have the whole WWE roster. Cody's gonna be on Mania. What kind of match would you give him? A world title? Would you give him a high level card?
I'd start him off as high level card. Who against though? Not sure. I would start them off like a high level storyline.
Yeah.
First, just like to have him flirt with that. I'm in the main event scene. Besides just debuting him, re-debuting him, and he's automatically fighting for the title. I don't think that would be the smart route to go. He's a big star, but if they do that, they might book themselves into a corner because hey, you got a returning Cody who's on fire right now because like everybody's talking about him, and then you go up against somebody who's like fucking Roman Reigns who's also on fire right now. You're gonna end up with a Fiend Seth Rollins situation again.
Yes.
So I would separate them. I mean, if they're gonna have him go up against Roman or even whoever's the WWE champion at the end of Mania or during Mania, I'd have him in a high profile match first.
Okay.
High profile storyline first. Probably. Oh wait, perfect. AJ Styles.
Ooh.
AJ Styles.
Ooh. Okay.
Definitely AJ Styles at first. Because come on, he comes back and he beats somebody, with the stature of AJ Styles right now. I mean, granted, if he doesn't win the U.S. title sometime down the line, I know he lost to Damian Priest recently. Yeah. But say if they have another match sometime, like before Mania, and he wins the U.S. title, you know what I mean? If AJ Styles is without a title the time Cody comes in, I would book that. I would book that match.
That's a good one too, because AJ can also talk about his time in Japan too. Like they can also talk about Ring of Honor. They could talk about like a lot of different like things that they've came from, just different indie backgrounds and stuff and come up. So I think that would be a dope ass match. Now on the other rumor mill with Stone Cold potentially coming back for a match against Kevin Owens. My thing is I love Stone Cold, one of my favorites of all time. The man's almost 60. Hasn't wrestled for almost 20 years, neck problems, knee problems, drinking problem. There's a lot of things that says he shouldn't wrestle anymore. So how you feeling about it?
I feel the same way. Like my thing is just like my inner child is like, because Stone Cold was one of the reasons, Stone Cold and The Rock are the main reason I started like watching, because I was like, they were my first match I ever watched on television. So I'm watching, so I'm thinking, the child in me is like, oh, Stone Cold's coming back, yeah. Right. And then like my logical brain thinking, I'm just like, why the fuck would he come back and wrestle a full match when he's nearly 60 years old?
Yeah.
He hasn't wrestled in like 20. There's like 20 years, yo.
There's a huge difference between Stone Cold coming back and like The Rock coming back, because The Rock has been in shape since he came out of a vagina when he was born. Like he's been in shape constantly, and I think he's 50, or a little over 50. I know Rock's around there. So it's one thing for The Rock to come back because he can go a little bit. Maybe he might have lost a step because it's different to be in shape and wrestling shape. But Stone Cold coming back would have me nervous watching the match with Kevin Owens.
I'll be watching and concerned. But also, like, another thing that's going to happen. What if Stone Cold comes in and he wins? The backlash I can see happening. Well, I mean, this is the backlash. I don't think any backlash would probably happen, because when Goldberg beat Lesnar, nobody like was upset, more like shocked, like, what the fuck? Holy shit. Yeah. They popped for it. Stone Cold comes back and they beat a darling like Kevin Owens. Don't know.
Here's one scenario. They build for a few weeks for Mania, Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, and then the match finally happens. Kevin Owens comes out first. Austin comes out, crowd's going crazy, gets in the ring, hits Owens with a stunner, pins him 1, 2, 3. Match is over. What kind of reaction do you think the fans would say after that, if that was the finish?
Oh man, if my fickle meter is correct, the live crowd would cheer because it's Stone Cold in Texas.
Yeah.
But the internet will explode.
Yes.
And Kevin Owens might get Daniel Bryan, probably.
But like, he already signed a long-term deal. We got him locked in. He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. But I'm not talking about like Daniel Bryan, oh, he leaves. I'm talking about Daniel Bryan as in like a new movement comes from that. Yes. Remember what happened with the 18-second match? Yeah. The Yes movement exploded after that shit.
Absolutely. And that's the one guy too, like Kevin Owens. I mean, he already got boned against, fucking Goldberg or, there's so many matches where he should have like won or been, he should have went over a little bit more, even if he lost. But he's always been like a company guy for WWE. Like he's been there through all of it and even signed a new deal. And, I think that would be the only way that Stone Cold could really wrestle. Because could Stone Cold last 5-10 minutes against Kevin Owens? Like it would have to be a really slow match. Like I can't just even talking about it doesn't even seem real. Like it just reminds me of like Ric Flair. Like, he still thinks he could wrestle and the guy's like on his deathbed practically.
Yeah.
One more drink than he needs to drink and it's gone for the Nature Boy.
Ric Flair's lost his fucking mind right now. But yeah, that's another thing.
Didn't he just break up with his wife or girlfriend or whatever Fifi was?
Yeah, I think he just broke up with his wife again. But that's not even this other thing. He just hates Becky Lynch for no reason.
He really does. Like they never
hates Becky Lynch. I'm like, damn, what'd she do to you?
I think it's the man thing. I think because she calls herself the man, I think it made him feel some type of way. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. I mean, if that's the thing, he seems like petty as shit though.
Oh yeah.
He seems super petty.
That's what everybody's thinking.
So how are you feeling about AEW overall right now? Like, are you excited about like, some of the new people that are coming in or signing and everything? Like you good with it?
Oh yeah, I'm good with it. It's just like my concern was, because I know they're still bringing in people, because I've seen the reports, I've seen the tweets and stuff, like they want to bring more people in. My one concern, was kind of similar to Big Swole's concern, is just the pacing of these new people coming in. You know what I mean? It's like you bring in these guys, you know what I mean, and some of the guys who's been already on your roster, they might get lost in the shuffle while you're trying to build this guy. Because remember, like, we got Dynamite, which is 2 hours, but you only got Rampage, which is only 1 hour. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we already got people who are like staples and run like on Rampage. Like who else? Like Rampage now is like it's Hook Show now. But yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
it's been the Hook Show. But it's like it's just a little concern for me. It's just like, what about the guys that are already there? That's very popular already. You know what I mean? If you focus too much on the new guy coming in, you know what I mean, what about that guy? But if you don't put enough emphasis on the new guy coming in, you know what I mean, you don't capitalize on the hype of bringing them in. So it's just like it's like a weird damn if you do, damn if you don't situation with it. But overall though, I think they've been doing a good job. The only person I'm kind of concerned with was just Jay Lethal.
Yeah. I
feel like he should have, someone like him, I feel that he should be in a bigger position than he is now.
Yeah.
But
see, and that's the excuse me, that's the one thing about having all these debuts for AEW. It's fine and it's exciting, but long term, what's the plan? And you are going to have guys like Sonny Kiss and even when Janela was prominent in AEW, all the guys that were there from the beginning, you don't see anymore. They're spotlighting the Daniel Bryans and all these other guys, CM Punk, and as they should, because they are the people that will draw the WWE eyes who've never look at any other wrestling outside of WWE. It'll draw them in. Yeah. Oh, that's John Moxley. I thought that's Dean Ambrose. Why is it, that type of audience? But I think that, you still have guys like Bray Wyatt, who's going to show up probably at AEW, maybe Impact or whatever. But, Jeff Hardy, he's going to come back at some point in AEW. I think it was like the beginning of March, his contract runs out. So that's the biggest concern. I think AEW is great. I think they're a great alternative. They're not WCW 2.0 or anything like that. But I think that they have to be real smart with some of their business moves and just be careful on so many signings and not having payoffs on their character. It's kind of like you mentioned, if you were to book Cody against Roman, if that was Cody's first match back, not saying that he's not a guy that's not a marquee world championship main event at Mania type of person, but it's like you're going to put him against Roman Reigns. Roman ain't losing to Cody, who's just coming in from AEW, a guy who's just been talking all this shit. They're not going to have him lose. Maybe next year's WrestleMania, you know what I mean? But I think AEW is I think they're doing well. I have that same feeling. Just seeing all the OG AEW people just falling off and seeing spotlights on people that have only been there for a few months.
Yeah.
That morale in the locker room may not be that great. And Cody leaving, I think his thing was over money and creative control.
That's what I hear, but we don't know until we know. That's what people report on, but we don't know until. As far as morale, I hear a lot of things like morale over there is great. You know what I mean? Because it's not ran like the backstage environment is not like WWE for reports is. But my thing is what's like how I take any report I hear or anything I see, take it with a pinch of salt. You don't know until you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So you hear it from Cody or Tony Khan himself or Brandy herself. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how people's morale is. You don't know the reasoning about them leaving until they come out and tell you. You know what I'm saying? So
facts.
Yeah, that's just how it is. I mean, we still had that Jeff Hardy situation that came out, and everybody jumped on Jeff Hardy, hating on him. I'm telling them, we don't know what's going on. Yo, chill. You know what I mean? It turns out, he was fine the whole time. Also, people don't, I understand people, looked at his history and was thinking things like that. He could have this, but I'm just like, I don't know. That didn't for me. It didn't look right. I'm just like, let's just chill and wait this out. People wanted that clout so bad, but they slandered them. So it's just now they look really stupid right now.
They really do.
I'm still waiting for videos. Oh, those apologies.
Right.
I think it's probably like 1 or 2. I saw a few comments, but motherfuckers owe that man an apology.
Yeah, that should be one of your first TikTok videos today. You're still waiting on your apology. You post that one out there and see if people fucking.
Not my apology. Jeff Hardy's apology.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you need to have people apologize to you. Have them stitched with the apology. That's so they can fucking come correct, because there's a lot of really bad takes. Twitter's worse than TikTok for me.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to wrestling takes, oh my goodness. You could tell the ones that are like how they really feel and the ones that are just doing that shit because they're like Skip Bayless. Like they just want to say something off the wall to fucking, you know what I mean? Like get some clout. But so before I let you go, I do appreciate all the time you've been giving me today just to talk shit. We could talk about wrestling, NGT and everything all day, but we got to go eat somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm hungry as shit right now. But what you got going on? What's next?
What's next?
Yeah.
Definitely gonna I think tonight I'm gonna actually just like kick myself in the ass and film another episode of theme songs wrestlers don't want to hear.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
That's what's up. And how can people find you on social media?
Oh, where you can find me? You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. I do have a Twitter. I'm not as active up there, but I still have a Twitter, so you can follow me on that. Lou Nonsense is Lou_Nonsense. I have a Facebook page as well. Lou Nonsense as well. And I do have a YouTube. Also Lou Nonsense. But okay. You can find me there.
And all the merch.
Lou L-U, not L-O-U, just L-U.
And all that merch you're selling too. You got out the Lou Nonsense merch.
Oh yeah, Lou Nonsense merch. I gotta make some more. It's been a while. But if you want some, I don't be fickle hoodie, t-shirt, or an obvious reasons t-shirt, or a Liu-Tang Clan t-shirt. Go to my the links are in my TikTok bio. You can go to the link there. It's gonna be on my link tree as well. You can check that out and grab a shirt if you like it.
Dope. That's what's up. Dude, thanks again, man. Like I said, you've been an inspiration for me in NGT, and I love your content overall with the rest of the stuff. And I'm just happy you did this show, bro. I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. For real. Thank you for reaching out. This was fun. You can do this again.
And everybody who's listening on Spotify and all the other podcast networks and watching here on YouTube, thank you guys for supporting the show and following along. Look at the podcast everywhere on social media. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Peace and blessings.